Waist on the BOSU and lift up waist and hip. If you're on the floor, your legs are lifting up and down. Just make sure you're off your hip bone when you're on the floor. This just creates a greater range of motion for your side crunch. From here, we're going to go back to that jack, so you can stand up and jack. You can plank jack, or you can plank jack with your toes on the BOSU. Other side, for the side crunch or the side leg lifts. And just take your time, get that full range of motion.
I just need to go to the store. I think it's the store.
Good. Hyperextension is often overlooked, and this can be done on the floor in Superman style. If you have a BOSU or a ball, you're going to lay your belly on the BOSU. You're going to lift up and go down and kind of fold over the ball. If you're on the floor, you're going to lie here and you're going to lift up and down. Okay, hyperextension is a very small range of motion, and it's very important because we spend a lot of time in forward flexion and we want to open that up. So don't negate this exercise or dismiss it. It's very important in strengthening your core. Here we go. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to stand on top of the BOSU with your weights. If you do not have a BOSU, of course, you do not need to. You can just stand on the floor. I'm going to change my weight to a little bit lower weight, only because for bicep curls, I want to be able to get that full range of motion, and my other heavier weights might just be a little too heavy. So we're going to squat down here, and we're going to curl up. Okay? Go. If you're standing on the floor, you want to keep your feet hip-width apart. When you're on the BOSU, you clearly can only go so far. You have to find where you can find balance and still maintain proper form sitting back in that squat. I'm going to stay down. I'm going to go right into kickbacks. So I'm just straightening and bending the elbows. And I'm going to come down, I'm going to do donkey kicks off my BOSU. I'm going to go here and kick my butt. You can always do one leg at a time, and if you're standing, you would do them so that you're leaning forward and kicking your butt like that. Okay? Here we go. stand back on my BOSU, and this one, if you have lighter weights, you might want to go even lighter than, I might even want to go lighter than what I've got, but we're going to do reverse flies. I'm just going to, for sake of time, go here. You can always pause and get lighter weights. You want to squeeze your shoulder blades together. You don't want to stress your neck. If I had a little bit lighter weights, I could go a little bit farther up and squeeze my shoulder blades together a little bit better. Good. Now we're going to stand. I'm going to switch my weights. Whoa. We're going to row and squat. Okay, let's start over here. It's important to get your balance first. Something I just demonstrated. Why? It's difficult when you don't have balance just to jump right into these things on the BOSU. If you're on the floor, you should be okay. I hope. Now I'm going to do donkey kicks again, but I'm going to demonstrate with my hands on the BOSU rather than my feet this time. Good. Now we're going to go back down. If you're on a mat, you can do a roll up where you're just lying back on the floor and rolling up and alternating the legs coming up like this. Or you can modify it any way you need to. If you're on a BOSU like me, you're going to reach back and you're going to do the same thing. And just reach back as far as you can and come up. So to be clear, if you're on the floor, you can do this, or you can modify here, and then you would just switch here. Okay, so we're going to go in just a moment. Here we go. If your neck is starting to pull, hands go behind your head, and just reach like this with the alternating opposite hands. Excellent. You're going to grab your weights again, scooch down so that your head, neck, and shoulders are on the BOSU, or on the floor. Grab your weights. Yeah, okay. Hips are going to go in the air, and we're going to take the weights so that they come down on either side of your head like this for tricep extension, and then you're going to turn your weights and do skull crusher. Okay? So you alternate. If you're uncomfortable with one or the other, you can just stick with one. If you have one heavy weight, you can use one heavy weight instead. Here we go. Make sure your hips are up, whether you're on the floor or on the BOSU. Good. Now, you're going to scooch up again. You're going to do your roll up if you're on the floor. Same thing. This time when you come up, you're going to bring your knee up. If it's too much on the floor, you just modify. You bring your knee up and twist like this, okay? Twist like this. On the floor, you would just do the same thing. You can roll up and bring the knee in and twist, or you can march on the floor, which would look something like this. Okay? Here we go. And we're going to go into planking. Now, if you have a BOSU, there's a number of ways you can plank on the BOSU. And there's tons and tons and tons of exercises that you can do in a BOSU that I did not demonstrate today. And if you want more and you want me to privately come meet with you and show you how you can take this to the next level, you know how to reach me. But for now, you can either put your elbows on the BOSU or your toes on the BOSU, whatever you're looking for instability-wise. And if you're planking with your elbows on the BOSU, you're here. And if you're planking with your toes on the BOSU, you're here. And both are equally challenging. I don't know that I find one more difficult than the other, but you might. So I don't know. I'm just going to keep my toes on there, my elbows on the floor. So if you're on the floor, join me for a quick little plank. Now you can always lift your legs up and down to make it more challenging here. We already jacked on the plank. You can tap out if you want. Something like this to make it more challenging. Just make sure that your plank is in check here. That's 30 seconds. If you can, keep going. Still going. The further away your limbs are from your body, the more your core is engaged. So if you are reaching your leg out, you'll feel your belly pull in more, create a little bit more of a challenge for you. Make sure your body's in proper form. Get the butts down. And that's 1 minute, 10 seconds. So that's just a nice little gut buster workout, turkey gut buster workout for you leading up to the Thanksgiving holiday. I'll be coming with, I believe I'll be doing a few more while I'm away to give you no excuses to continue your festivities. You may join me as I work out. And look for those videos. They'll be Gobble Gut Buster, and I'm trying to remember the other name that's going to be coming. But anyway, I'll see you very soon. Thanks for joining me. To your health.